So in the last class, we have seen what is exception handling. I said before we understand the concept of exception handling, it is important to understand the different types of errors that happen in a program. There are two broad categories of errors. The first one is syntax error. It is also called as compile time error. So when you try to compile the program, first thing that is checked is the syntax of your program. If there is any grammatical mistake as uh, spelling mistakes in the keyword or missing of parentheses, these are all syntax errors. If a program does not have syntax errors, the next type of error that a program might have is a logical error. Logical error, which is also called as a runtime error, errors that occur during runtime. I gave you some examples also yesterday, examples of runtime errors. First example is accessing an element of an array which does not exist. For example, if you have defined an array in Python of 10 elements, if you're trying to access, let us say, the 20th element, which is not present, then it will give you an index error. It will give you an index error. It will say that this index does not exist, or this element in the array does not exist. That is one example. And the other example is when you try to open a file which does not exist. When you write a mistake, if there is a spelling mistake in the file name, when there is a spelling mistake in the file name, then you try to open it. That is another problem. Okay, as long as the syntax is concerned, there is no problem with the syntax, it is correct. But when it tries to open the file is not found. There is a spelling mistake in the name of the file, so it gives you a runtime error. So exception handling is done specially for runtime errors. It is done only for runtime errors. If you I told you why exception handling is required. Let us say you have a big program. Let us say you have a big program in which there are 10 lines of code, and at the fifth line a runtime error occurs. At the fifth line the runtime error occurs. So the remaining five statements in the program will not get executed because the program will abruptly stop. So exception handling is a technique where you can continue to execute the program even if there is a runtime error occur. Even if a runtime error occurs, you still want the program to continue execution, then we make use of exception handling. I told you this yesterday. Exception handling technique is available in almost all advanced programming languages, high level programming languages like C++, Java, C Sharp, even in Python. All programming languages have this concept of exception handling. And why do we use it? We use it in all programming languages, we use it for the same concept. We use it for handling runtime errors. Okay, so let us take an example and see how we can use exception handling. So I will take this example here. Let us say I initialize x is equals to 100, I initialize y is equals to 200. Then what I do is I do z is equals to x divided by y. Okay, now in this case, what I will do is I will initialize y to 2, and then finally I say print z. Okay, so this is a simple program that I write. Simple program it is. What is x? X is 100, y is 2, y is 2. And then I do x divided by y. I use a division operator here. I divide the value of x by y. And then what will be the value of z? It is 100 divided by 2, it is 50. So it will display 50. Simple. So file, I will save this program. I will save it in the D drive. I'll save it in the D drive. I'll call it as xx.py, exception example.py. Okay. Okay, so let us say that is the name of my program. So I now go to the command prompt, and here I go to the D drive. I go to the D drive here. Okay, I go to the D drive, and then here I want to execute my, so type python space x example.py. So simple, it displays me 50.0 without any problems. It displays me 50.0. Now what I do is I initialize the value of y to 0. I initialize the value of y to 0. So now what I'm attempting to do is I'm attempting to divide a number by a 0, which is a big problem. It is a big problem. Remember, it's a big problem, and this will result in an error. This will result in an error because you cannot divide a number by 0. So I save this. Intentionally I am doing an error in the program, a runtime error. So as long as the syntax is concerned, everything is fine, no problem, but there is a runtime error. So when I try to execute this program, you can see that it displays you an error. It tells you that there is an error in line number 3. It says 0 division error, division by 0. So it will not do the remaining part. So if I say print, I want it to display me a message in the end called as goodbye. So I say file, save. Of course, this print goodbye will not happen because here only the program will encounter an error and the remaining part of the program will never get executed. This is what I want. This is what I want to demonstrate to you. So I say file, save. I go to, and then I say, yeah, of course, so you can see that it directly goes to the line number 3 and it stops the program. The remaining part of the program will never get executed because it encountered a runtime error. Now, I can handle exceptions here. I can handle exceptions. How to handle? I have to simply write try, write a colon, and then write this one tab space inside. Except so I just add some extra statements in the program. I added this try block, which all statements you write in the try block, statements which you think will result in a runtime error, those you write it in the try block. That you write it in the try block. So I know this statement has got a problem. It may so happen that sometimes the value of y may become 0 and I may try to divide it by 0. So I know that potentially this statement here has got a chance to result in a runtime error. So I write that in the try block. Okay. So now what will happen is comfortably the first statement will get executed without any problems. The second statement also will get executed, no problem. Then I enter the try block and then I try to do this. Okay, z is equals to, right, let us say right now I initialize y to 2. Okay, and then comfortably this statement also will now get executed because it is 100 divided by 2, no problem. So this will get executed. This also will get executed because there is no problem with this, because y is equals to 2 right now, it is not 0. I will make it 0 also later on and I will demonstrate to you, but right now it is 2. Comfortably this will get executed, comfortably this will get executed. Only if there is an error in this block here, this part will get executed, but this will not get executed now because everything comfortably is getting executed. And then finally this is in the main, so this will get executed anyways, and then it will stop the program because there is nothing after that. Now let us see, file, save, I clear the screen and then I execute. So you saw that it executed the first statement, second, then it divided the number by 2, 100 divided by 250 goes into Z, and then I displayed the value of Z. So that's why you were able to see this 50.0. And then after that, I told you that goodbye will get executed because it will continue to execute. Okay, now I will do an error. I will initialize y to 0 and then I'll save the program and then I'll go here and now I try to execute. Now let us see what happens. So you can see now that it displays me exception occurred and then goodbye. So let us now trace the program and see what all has happened. The first statement, x is equals to 100, has successfully executed. Y is equals to 0 also successfully executed. Then it went inside the try block. It tried to divide 100 by 0, which is an error. So this particular line here, z is equals to x divided by y, this statement here results in an error. So that's why immediately the control will not execute the next statement. So it will not execute this. This did not get executed. And immediately after this statement, it went to the except statement. It went here. In this block of code, in the try block, if any error occurs in any of the line, it immediately jumps to the except block. So whatever is there in the except block will get executed. So that's why error occurred here. So the except block got executed and it displayed me exception occurred. So that's why you were able to see this exception occurred. Whatever I'm printing got printed here. Exception occurred. Some exception occurred. Something went wrong. In this try block, something went wrong. So that's why the except block got executed and it displayed me exception occurred. And then after that, it continues to execute the program. It will not stop abruptly. And then it executes the remaining part of the program. And then it displays me goodbye. And then it stops the program because after that, there is nothing. So you saw the example, if there is no error in the try block, what happens? If there is an error in the try block, what happens? If there is no error in the try block, then comfortably the entire try block will get executed. Except block will not get executed if there is no error in the try block, and then the remaining part of the program also will get executed. If an error occurs in the try block, then the except block will get executed, and then after that the remaining part of the program will get executed. The statements which are there after the statement which causes an error will not get executed. So this print z will not get executed. Immediately it will stop here. There is an error here, so it stops there and then jumps to the except block. I hope this is clear. Now with this, you might have one question in your mind. Okay, you might have one question in your mind. Okay, you might ask that, sir, okay, fine, what type of errors this catch block catches? I mean, what type of errors? I mean, what type of error this is? You are only displaying an error saying that exception occurred. If I want to know exactly why this exception occurred, why did the exception occur? I want to know the reason. Here there may be statements in the try block which is dividing a number. It may also have a statement to open a text file, all that. So the try block might have a lot of statements, and any statement can result in a runtime error. So I want to know in the except block here, I want to know here in the except block why the error occurred. Did it occur because of divide by 0, or did it occur because of file not found? So I want to basically know why the error occurred. So if you want to know that, then there is a statement called as system.exe info of 0, control C. I'll just copy that. If you want to know why the error occurred, then you can have, so whatever I write in the double quotes, you know, it will get displayed as it is. So in the print function, what I am doing, I am displaying exception occurred, and then I want to know why the exception occurred. So I use this built-in function. I use this built-in function called as system.exe info of 0. So this is a built-in function which is available. Okay, execute info. It belongs to the system library. So you know that if I want to use a system library, then I have to import sys. You know this. If I'm using the sys library, then I have to import that. We have already learned this in the previous module, in the previous chapters. And it displays me why the error occurred. So in my try block, if there are multiple statements, the error can occur because of any statement. It might occur because of this, or it might occur because of this. It might occur because of anything. Okay, so if I have a statement here to open a text file, and if I have not named the text file correctly, then the error might occur because of the file not found. So I want to know why the error occurred. So I can use this function here to tell me why the error occurred. Now we know for sure that this particular error is occurring because I'm trying to divide the number by 0, because I've initialized y by 0 here. So x by y, when I do, it is definitely a case of divide by 0. So it will display, this particular statement should display me that the error occurred because of divide by 0. Let us see what it does. So I save the program, I go to the program. So this is what it had displayed me. Exception occurred, only that much it had displayed me. Now it will display me exception occurred, plus it will also display me why it occurred. Okay, so let us now run the program. Okay, there is some problem here. Exception occurred, all that, and then must be str not type. Okay, so you know what I'm doing is I'm trying to concatenate again the same problem which had arrived in the previous program. Once you remember that I was trying to concatenate a string. This is a string, from here to here is a string, then I'm using a plus operator. And what is this? What is this? Is a integer, so I have to convert that to string. So I have to see str into bracket, then I have to put this. Okay, so to convert this into a string, and then I have to concatenate it with this and then display it. Now let us see what happens. So file, save, and then I clear the screen. You can see here. You can see here what has happened. It displayed me exception occurred. Whatever I've displayed in this double quotes here, so that came automatically. Exception occurred till this colon, and then after that this came. This class 0 division error. So this is actually displaying me why the error occurred. So you can also come to know why the error occurred using this built-in function. So I came to know here that I know the error has occurred because I'm trying to 0 division error. I'm trying to divide a number by 0. That's why the error occurred. It displays me the reason why the exception has occurred. So I can use this built-in function here, and then it displays me goodbye, and then it stops the program. I hope this is clear. If you want to know why the exception occurred, in the except block, then you can use system.ex execute information built-in function, and then you can display why the error occurred. Fine then. This is about handling exceptions in Python. One more concept that I want to teach you in Python, how to handle exceptions. One more concept which is also present in all other programming languages. Which are the different types of errors that may arise? Okay, the different types of errors that can arise at runtime is value error, type error, zero division error, index error. These are the different types of errors that can arise in your Python program. So you can handle these exceptions separately. You can handle these exceptions separately. What I mean to say is that if my try block contains a statement here, f is equals to open, f is equals to open data.txt, comma r. So let us say I'm trying to open a file called as data.txt. You know that in Python, if I want to open a text file, we are going to learn this. We will learn this in module number 2, how to open text files and how to read the content and all that. By the way, just to explain to you exception handling, get introduced to this particular thing. If I want to open a text file in my Python file, then I have to say open. Open is a function which takes two parameters. This is the first parameter. This is the name of the file which you want to open. And the second parameter is the mode in which you want to open it. Open is a function to open a text file in Python. This is the name of the first parameter that you pass to the open function. This, what you type here, is the name of the file. And the second parameter is the mode in which you want to open the file. If I write R here, then I'm opening the file to read the content. If I write W here, it means that I'm opening the file to write something to the file, and so on and so on. So okay, so I want to open it in read format. Okay, so I try to open the file data.txt and then in read format. Now there are two statements here. Okay, there is a possibility of error here. This statement has the possibility of what type of error? It has the possibility of divide by zero error. What is the possibility of this particular statement? It has got a possibility of file not found type of an error. Okay. Fine then, okay. So I have two statements here. Now, I can actually catch these exceptions separately. What I mean to say is that if a divide by zero occurs, I want to execute a different except block. If a file not found error occurs, I want to execute a different except block. If I want to do that, then I can make use of these errors separately. I copy this. Okay, this is important. Zero division error. This is important. Z is capital, D is capital, E is capital. So I have to simply write zero division error. So here, what will happen is, then if let us say you want to catch a value error, if you want to catch a value error, then you can even do that, and you can have a different print statement for that. So basically what we are trying to do here is we are trying to execute a separate set of code if a specific error is encountered. For example, let us say if an error occurs because of divide by zero, so this part of the program will get executed. The remaining blocks will not get executed. Remember, depending upon the error, a specific block will get executed here. Zero division error will get executed, and then whatever you want to do, you can display here. You can display here. Error OCCURE occurred because of divide by zero. Let us say if a division by zero error occurs, you want to display this message to the user. Error occurred because of divide by zero. If an error occurs because of some other reason, let us say value error. This is another type of an error. Why does value error occurs? Value error occurs when you are trying to assign, when you are trying to pass a different value. Let us say there is a function called as add. It expects you to send to the add function integer, but you are passing a string. So that is when the value error occurs. So, okay, let us say you want to catch that error. So you can say error occurred, OCCURED, occurred, DEC, because of value problem. Okay, something like that, value problem. And finally, let us say an error has occurred because of some problem. It is not because of division by zero. It is not because of value. Some other error. Then you can always write this except function here. Except, and then you can write this. Some error. Some error occurred. Some error occurred. Okay, so now you can see that I am having one try block and I have multiple catch blocks. In the sense, I don't have to call them catch blocks. In Java and all that, we have them catch blocks. But I have different blocks here which will get executed when different types of error occurs. If from here a division by zero error occurs, this will get executed, and then all this remaining will not get executed. Then it will directly come here, it will stop. If an error occurs because of this, then this part will get executed. This part will get executed because the file is not found, and then it will. Okay, so now depending upon what type of error occurs in the try block, specific block from here will get executed. So this is called as handling specific exceptions. This concept is called as handling specific exceptions. When do we use it? We use it when you want to execute a separate block of code when a specific error occurs. When the divide by zero occurs, I want to execute some of my code, my own code, block of code. And here what I'm doing is I'm executing only one statement, but please remember that here I can do anything. Huh? I can do x is equals to y plus 2. I can do anything here. I can have any number of statements here. Right now I'm executing only one, but I can have any number of statements here. I can have any number of statements there. So now let us try to execute this. Okay. Let us see what happens. So I say file, save. I go here, I clear the screen, and then so it says there is some syntax error here. It says there is some syntax error. It is pointing at this particular point here. And I think I did not write it properly. I have to write except, and then I have to write that. Sorry, I have to write except then that. Okay, I should not write directly that. I have to write the except block. Like how we have the catch block, we have the except block. Okay, so except zero division error, except value error, and then except nothing here. When you say except nothing, any type of an error will be caught here. Okay, so I have to write this. So file, save. If a division by zero error occurs, this except block will get executed. If file not value error occurs, this will get executed. And if some other error occurs, this particular except block will get executed. Now let us save this and execute the program and see. So we go there. You can see that the output is, it says error occurred because of divide by zero. So which of your statement got displayed? This one, error occurred because of divide by zero. So whatever you've written here got. So you know that this particular except block got executed. This particular except block got executed. Why? Because I went inside, and of course the value of y is 0, so it is divided by 0. So this got executed, and then directly it goes out and it executes this and it stops the program. The remaining except blocks will not get executed. The remaining except blocks will not get executed because it encountered divided by 0, and this is the first return here. So this only got executed, and then we stop. I'm going to initialize y to 2. I'm going to initialize y to 2 now. I'm going to initialize y to 2. So file, save. So there is no possibility now because it is 100 divided by 2, which is no problem. It is 50. And then I'm trying to open the file here. Now this particular statement should throw an error. It should give an error. So file, save, go here. Now you saw that it displayed me some error occurred and goodbye. So it did not execute this statement. Why? Because there is no division by zero error. It did not execute this except block because there is no value error. But there is some error here, which is that error, file not found error. So that's why it executed the last part here. I'm trying to open a file which does not exist. So it is a runtime error. And then that's why it displayed you some error occurred. If you want to know what is the name of that error, then you can always use that. Okay, you can use this function to know what it is. Okay, some error occurred, and then if you want to know what is that error, you can always write this built-in function. So I save the program and then I execute it. I'll clear the screen first, and then see here you can see that some error occurred. Which is that error? File not found error. File not found error. You can see that it displays me file not found error. Which is that file? Data.txt is not found. Why? Because that file is not there. Now let me do one thing. Okay, I will go to the D drive, and here I will create a file here. I will create a file. I will create a file called as data.txt. Okay, I create a file and then I write some text into it. So what I did in the D drive, I created a file called as data.txt, data.txt. Okay. So my Python file, here you can see ex and data. It is in the same folder. So I'm directly writing the name of the file here. So now it should open it. Okay. So file, save. So there is no problem now. File not found problem should not come because the file is also there and all that. So now I execute this. And then you can see that it executed everything successfully. It displayed me 50 because it displayed the value of Z. File is also found, and then finally displayed me goodbye. So none of the except functions got executed. None of the except blocks. Divide by zero also did not get executed because there is no error. Value error also did not get executed, and some other no error only in the entire try block. There is no error, so that's why it displayed everything properly, and then it displayed me goodbye, and then it stopped. I hope this is clear with you. So what you have studied, what you have learned is in Python, there is concept of exception handling. We do exception handling in Python to catch runtime errors. The keywords that we have to use exception handling is try. In the try block, you write the statements which potentially can throw an error, and the except keyword you use to define the except block, which will get executed when a particular error occurs. You can catch specific exceptions. So you can say except zero division error, except value error, except file not found error, except some other error. But if you don't know what is that error and how to catch specifically, you can simply write only except followed by a colon and then some statement here. If you want to know why that exception has occurred, then you can use this built-in function here. Okay, so this is about this concept is exception, the concept of exception handling in Python. So this is the end of the uh, module number 1. We have done all this. We have studied first starting with data types in Python. What is the interactive shell? What is string concatenation, replication, how to store values in variables. Then we studied flow control, if condition, if, elif, all that we have studied. Then we studied the while loop, the for loop, okay, in controls. Then we studied how to import modules into Python programs. Then we studied what is a function, how to define functions, how to pass parameters to functions, what is the return value. Then we studied what is the local variable and the global variable. And then today we studied, last time only we had started with understanding what is exception handling, but today we saw some examples of exception handling. And finally, there is a program that we have to study, guess the number. And this program, I think I have already told you, this program is the computer will guess a number. The computer will guess a number, and then you have to actually identify what number it is. Okay, so that program is there. Guess the number. I think it is here. Summary of the program. It is on the top somewhere. So that program is there for the syllabus. In the examination, they might ask you that question. Okay. This is the magic 8-ball program. This is also there in the second module. Okay. This guess the number program is here. It is in the previous chapter. It is there in flow control. So I will just execute that program. That program is there for the syllabus. That's why. Yeah, this is the program. Guess the number. This is the code for the program. So I will just execute this program and I'll show it to you. I'll copy that. I save the program in the D drive. I'll call guess guess.py, guess.py, and then yeah, there is some problem here. I think. I hope this is correct. This is all correct. So I'll just save the program file, save, and I'll try to execute this program. Let us see. Okay, now the computer, this is how it executes. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 to 20. So I have to, now what the computer has done is it has already randomly generated one number between 0 to 20, and then it has remembered it. Now it is asking us to enter, guess that number. So let us say the computer has guessed 9. My God. So it has, I have randomly, in the first go only, I have identified it correctly. Okay. So which means that it had guessed 9 only. I'll run this program once again. So it has now identified, let us say I said 13. I said 13, but now it says that no, your guess is too low, means the number is above 13 and below 20. So I have to guess it once again. Let us say I put 18. Good job. See, 2 guesses. So the number was 18. So I execute the program once again. I'll say 1, too low, I say 20, too high, I say 10, too low means it is above that, so 15, too low, 17, too low, 19. Yeah. So I took 6 guesses. It took me 6 guesses to guess this number. It was 19 actually. So this is the program for that, very simple program. And remember, this is there for the syllabus. They might ask you this program in the exams. So what I do is I import random. Why do we import the random library? Because I have to generate a random number, and the number should be between 1 to 20. I use this. And then after that, I take the guesses, I compare. So this is the logic of the program. So I want everybody to please go through this program, try to understand the logic. Okay, if not, then I will explain to you this on one day, someday. So I think we will stop here today. I hope it is clear for all of you that what is exception handling and all that. Maybe by tomorrow, I will give you questions from this module plus a little more from the second module, because for the internals, I'm going to keep 1.5 module. From the second module, I'm going to complete a little part. We have completed this part, basics of Python, all that till here. Then we will be going to the second module in which we will be learning lists, methods of lists we will be seeing. Okay, so at least this much I will be doing to you people. Okay, I'm going to start with lists. It's a very important concept. Lists in Python is a very important concept. I will be doing this part, and this is also there for the internal. So I will be setting some questions on this, and I will be giving you assignment. Okay, I will be giving some 10 questions, and then I will be asking you questions in the internals from that set of 10 questions only. Okay, so we will stop here today. If there are any questions, you can ask me, because still there are about 5 minutes remaining. You can just chat and ask me if you have any doubts. Okay, on the concepts that I've explained to you people today, if there are any doubts, you can please ask me. And like always, I keep telling you people that you please install Python in your laptops and please execute some simple programs and become comfortable with the syntax. Okay, so if there are no questions, then I will stop here for today. I will continue again in the next class. I think tomorrow I have a class. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye-bye.